Chestnut roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas.
That's what Christmas is all about. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Chestnut roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Chestnut roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas night. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. Oh, oh, oh,
to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Okay, sorry for the earlier confusion with the camera, but never mind that. Hi everyone, my name is DJ XiaoJun, and this is Radio MMU, your ultimate multimedia tunes. Now, yeah, this is actually just a special podcast because, oh no, there's an issue. There is an issue. Okay, never mind. It's still going great. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this is a special podcast considering how it's actually an online teaching and learning week. So yeah, I'm actually just trying to do a sort of like not survey, but a test to see whether a solo act on these radio sessions are actually effective and they might actually work. So I'm just here to see whether it will work or not, and then if it might work, I might encourage this to the members. But nevertheless, yeah, but let's just jump straight into the topic that we'll be talking about today. So what I will mainly be talking about is it might just be a continuation of what we talked about last week, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, 2 weeks ago. Sorry, last week. Yes, last week. But yeah, basically last week we talked about we had this whole entire theme where we just say kids nowadays. Now, as for me, I'm only 22 years old. Nevertheless, for some reason, I feel like there's a huge difference between people my age and at the people who are just starting their foundation, their diploma, and all that. All right, you see. So I have no idea why. All right, we're still considered Gen Zs, but there's all this linguistics that I could not understand. For some reason, say for example, like earlier before when I joined Radio MMU, there was this term where people say no cap. I didn't know what that was, and then they were saying like blaze it and all those. So yeah, maybe like how Danesh is saying, I'm 22, but maybe I'm mentally 25. Maybe somewhere along the way I grew older. But yeah, to be fair, I'm not sure whether this comes along with like all the experiences you've had in life, and um, as you grow older, things start to get more serious. Because I mean, I sort of understand because when I was in college, I went through matriculation, by the way. When I was in college, people around who were at my current age right now, they I viewed them as quite old, like so uptight, so stuck up, and I couldn't really understand why until I'm at this age right now. I'm 22. I'm turning 23 next year. Um, it's just when I try to interact with people younger than me, it's like there's just an entire different character. Like if I were to interact with someone at my age, there would most likely be, there will be an understanding, there's sort of respect there. But okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the young people nowadays are disrespectful. No, that's not what I'm saying. But um, basically, in my experience, they tend to be more. How do I say this? Extroverted with you, because I noticed that there are two kinds. The ones that are extremely extroverted and the ones that are extremely introverted. It's either one. It's hard to find someone who's like in the middle for it. And to be honest, it's a good thing. You develop your own character, you have your own personality and whatnot. But it's how do I say this? It's kind of like alerting and also kind of concerning, considering how there are some not attitude, but some phases or some aspects of that character is I would say that there's a flaw in it. I mean, of course, everyone has their own flaws in their own ways and whatnot, but when it comes to their own characters, I've noticed that young people nowadays, we have an issue where we tend to just lay back instead of taking charge of our life. Say for example, if you were to go work in an office, most people have the mentality that because I'm being paid so and so, I will only work as much as I'm being paid. But from my point of view, I have worked in an office before, and based on experience, your pay will go up if you perform more than what you're being paid. Because let's put it in this way, you get paid, say for example, 2005, and you decided, okay, I'm only gonna work based on what they pay me, which is 2005. But you're not taking into account of there are some days where you are not performing well. You have to take into account that some days you have your own personal issues coming in. So your performance may not be as good as it was before. Yes, there are some days that you might be performing more than 2005. But as long as you have that mindset where as long as you have that mindset whereby you how do I say this? It's you have that mindset where I will work as much as I'm being paid. I would say it's very difficult for someone in that corporate world to to grow, to even raise their salary at that point, because at the end of the day, you need to prove yourself. All right, it's the boss's job to make sure that they pay you based on what you're working on, and it's your job to make sure that you need to show that you are more than what people think you are. Because let's be real, this is a cutthroat kind of world. It's very uptight. You have to perform very well, or you're gonna end up in the streets. That's what most parents teach kids nowadays, and that's the reality how it is. There's no how do I say this? There's no easy way around it. So yeah, that's just one thing that I noticed. I'm saying my observation based on how I see, how I observe Malaysian office culture, or Malaysians or corporate culture, is that people just sort of have that mindset where they don't want to push themselves, and I'm just doing it because I'm there. This is what I'm given, and this is what I'm gonna do. Honestly, taking initiatives in the far way is somehow actually will actually assist you in the long run. But replying to some of the comments that I see, Pooping Melvin said, I actually considered doing a solo for a while. Yo, dude, I actually encourage you to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes my mind is blank right now at this moment, but then, you just gotta try it, man. I mean, it's sort of like, it's just a different experience. I think it feels better actually, because sometimes when you have a partner or you have like a bunch of other people, they might cut you in and everything, so you don't get to say what you actually want to say. But for me personally, I enjoy doing it alone and also with other people. So again, this today is just a test. I'm just seeing how well this would go. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Okay. So Danesh mentioned something very good. People are brought up very differently these days. Okay. These days, people are. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys notice that comparison in, say, for example, let's put schools in example right now. Let's say back then in primary school, when I was in primary school, right? If I were to like not submit a homework, like I didn't do my homework, or I failed an exam or anything, I couldn't answer at a simple question. Obviously, the punishment would be like a rotan, right? Or like write 100 times. There's one nilai muni that I forgot. You have to write 100 times prihatin, 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 prihatin all the time. So that was the punishment we sort of got. And to me, to our parents back then, that was the sort of punishment which makes us more disciplined, and it makes us remember our mistakes so that we can learn from it and we won't repeat it in the future. But nowadays, when these sort of things happen, where a kid like kena rotan and whatnot, apparently the parents, they scold the teacher for that. But what is confusing to me is that back then during my time, we understood that that is what is needed to happen. You see, but when it happens to the current generation, I don't understand why the parents who were probably like slightly older than me, they they don't really want to tolerate their kids being disciplined. And let's not take into account of when. Okay, let's talk about disciplinary in children. All right. I would say right now in kids nowadays, especially toddlers and babies, we feed them technology too much. Like example, like we want to go out to eat, the kid's crying, and then what's the solution? Easy solution that we can think of at the snap of the finger. Give the kid an iPad. Open up Coco Melon. Open up the YouTube. Open up Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I don't know whether that thing is still on or not. But how do I say it? But yeah, this it's just they're just choosing the easy way out. And as you grow older, as you grow older and you grow more reliant on not social media, sorry, on these technologies, it's like, who exactly is the parent? Is it the iPad, or is it the parent that's supposed to be teaching them all these things? Because okay, I just want to give a shout out to my parents, because when I was younger, they never gave me any sort of technology, because one, I admit we couldn't afford it, and two, my dad wanted me to be a very disciplined kid while growing up. I mean, I may not be as disciplined as I was back then, right now, but like he refused to give me all these technologies. Like I never watched SpongeBob actually, until like a few months ago. I rarely watched Ben 10. I never watched Naruto when I was a kid, because his his mindset was that I have to learn things in a way that people don't learn anymore. So what he basically gave me was, he gave me a book to read. Once I'm done with that book, he will give me another one and another one, just to keep my mind active, so that I won't whine, I won't cry, or I won't do it. I won't, make a nuisance in public actually. And because of that, okay, I'm not tooting my own horn here, by the way, but because of that, when I was in primary school, in terms of language, I excelled very well. Like, there was no way I was getting an A minus or a B in English, because every time I would always be getting A. And he always taught me all these science things. He always taught me maths. He made sure that I was very fluent in it. If I had a problem, he would take the time out and sit down with me, instead of, just opening up like a YouTube video or something and show the kid and then expect the kid to understand. He sat down with me and made sure I understand in like probably like 1 hour, 2 hours. Cause at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge that being a parent is not an easy job, because you are nurturing someone. It's like you are nurturing something that doesn't know anything to be somewhat smarter than you, so that you can perform way better than you, or you see. So yeah, in primary school, my English excelled. My science was so good, but this is the one thing he didn't do. He did not teach me bahasa Melayu. So my Malay back then was very bad. So for UPSR, I got 4A 1B, right? Usually for people who get 4A 1B, that 1B is usually science, you see. My 1B was BM Pemahaman. That's mainly because I could never speak Malay. Even in high school, I could never speak Malay until I was in college, you see. In college, I went to Negeri Sembilan matriculation, met a lot of other Malay students there, and then that's when I started to actually learn how to converse properly. And yeah. But yeah, you see, people are brought up very differently these days, because nowadays kids, they are very, how do I say this? What's the word for it? They're very spoon-fed. Whatever it is, you're given to it. Because back then in the days, if you don't know anything, you're supposed to do your own research. You're supposed to get your own, read a research paper, or read the buku rujukan or anything. Nowadays, you just Google. Nowadays, there's ChatGPT doing assignments for you, writing your reports for you. So, are we exactly learning anything these days because of the way we're being brought up right now? Oh yeah, but okay, so Idiotic Sugar asked me, what's the topic of today? The topic of today is that we're just talking about the would I say difference in generations? No, but I would rather say like the issues with kids nowadays. It's hard to put a place on what kind of topic I'll be talking about today, but it's subject to everyone's understanding, of course. And of course, some of you may agree, some of you may disagree of what I'm saying right now, because everyone has their own thoughts and everyone has their own opinions, but just bear in mind, this is just my point of view. And what I'm saying is just in hopes that people will improve this part, especially in Malaysians, because we do need to improve our education system and also our mental understanding of things. So yeah. In your opinion, how do you value how much you are worth monetarily? Okay. Oh, that's a very tough question. Okay. How do you value yourself in terms of monetarily? If you're talking about okay, so I assume you were talking about the salary that I was talking about just now. Okay, in terms of those salary kind of things, it doesn't matter whether you are being valued or not. I mean, sorry. I mean, it does matter it does matter that you're being valued, and of course, it matters that you're being paid as to what you are doing. If you are not doing, sorry, if you are doing well enough and you're not being paid well enough, then that becomes an issue because they're just not appreciating what you're doing. So, like, I've advised one of my coworkers last time when I was working. She told me how, like, her salary was still the same after 5 years of working. Like, still, like, even graduates earn more than her. And then I told her, like, just resign and work somewhere else because you're not a bad worker. It's just that people have a different way of working with each other, and to be honest, like, you have a different work ethics than other people. Because for me, I click with you, so I don't mind working with you, and I think you're doing a very good job. But to other people, you might appear as something stuck up. That's why they hesitate to increase your salary. But yeah, that is one of the few examples of performing very well but not being paid enough. But say, for example, you're not doing well enough. All you think of a job is that it's a 9 to 6. I'm doing it because I need money to live. As long as you keep doing that, it will be very hard for you to grow. I'm not saying it will be impossible, but it will be very hard, extremely difficult to do that because you're just doing it for the sake of it. You don't exactly have the drive that, okay, I want to do this because I have things that I want to do. I want to retire my parents. I want to make sure that my kids have a good education. You need to have that drive in you. I mean, of course, I'm still a student. I actually have no place to say all this, but these are just my observations. And of course, I have my own flaws, and I'm trying. I do try every day to be the better person to be the best version of myself. But I don't know. These are the things that I notice among other people, and I try my best to be different from them. Yeah. So in terms of monetarily, in terms of how much you are worth monetarily, it's hard to say. You can't really put a number on it or have a guideline on to know how much you are worth. But what matters most is that you try your best. And even after a certain period of time where you are not rewarded for what you have done, then it's probably the best idea for you to be somewhere else. But of course, you need to have a sort of like self-consciousness to know whether you're doing good or bad. Don't just put the ego aside. Don't think like I'm the best in here, everything. People have that a lot these days. Yeah. Okay, so solo streaming lets you interact with the chat more. Yeah, actually, solo streaming lets me interact with the chat more. I'm reading more chats today than I have before. But yeah, not enough generational trauma is because generational trauma. Okay, generational trauma. Sometimes like when your dad scold you, like he raised that voice just a certain pitch and tone where you can hear. Yeah. So the next time, like my dad like raises his voice at something else, then I'll be like, oh, there's PTSD there. But at the end of the day, we as kids, we have to understand that parents scold us because they love us. Of course, there are some parents out there who abuse their kids, who are being unfair to their kids. But okay, there are also some understanding where some people say, what if the parents are wrong? There's no law in this world that will defend the child. There is no ethics, there is no rule, there's no religious rule, nothing. Because everything, even in religion, even in how do I say, in social constructs, they say that kids should always listen to their parents. But the problem is, I guess I can understand from the kids' point of views nowadays that what if my parents are wrong? What if my parents messed up my life? It's a hard stance to say, because we don't exactly know what to respond to that, because the main reason why we say we should listen to the parents is because they have experience and they've lived here longer, so they know what they're doing. And but I just want to give out to those kids out there. Just understand that you shouldn't be too harsh on your parents, because it's actually their first time living life as well. It is their first time having kids. This is their first time, having kids who has an issue where they need to solve it. Sometimes we have to understand that not everyone is not infallible. People are bound to fail at one point. Even me as a president, I am bound to fail at one point. But nevertheless, it is my job to try as hard as I can. And yes, I do have my flaws in being a president, but I am grateful that I have all my committees who trust in my decisions, and they commit to their work. They work very hard, and they acknowledge the direction of the club that I'm bringing them to. Even though my decisions sometimes may seem wrong, even though my decisions sometimes divide opinions among each other, but I'm glad that even though I've settled and finalized my decision, they still trust me and commit to the task that I've given them based on the decision I have. But yeah, so that's just on being infallible as a parent, and also from my point of view as a president. Thanks for the ego stroking. Nah. But of course sometimes of course it's a two-way thing. Sometimes you guys also have your own opinions where it is extremely questionable, but sometimes I have to let you do your jobs and trust that what you're doing is the right thing to do, because I chose you guys for the task that you guys have applied for. I chose specifically who and who which will go to which position. So I have to put faith that I made the right decision and you guys will perform at the best of your abilities. So yeah. Nah, man, I didn't want to toot my own horn, but it's just ah. But okay, bro was whitewashed. I won't lie, I was extremely whitewashed. First language was English. I didn't eat rice until I was like standard 3. Cause kalau ye pun it's like nasi telur kicap, and that's about it. Usually I'll just eat burger or pizza and whatnot. But thankfully now I feel like I'm more in tune with my racial profile, I guess. With a mix of Chinese somewhere in there, and yeah. But we don't talk about that. Uh, but yeah, going back to what I was talking about kids nowadays. Another thing that I noticed is that kids nowadays, that when it comes to talking into public, when it comes to portraying yourself out there, there is people tend to get scared. You see, if you notice that every time people say there's presentation, everyone gets scared. And I was like, oh no, presentation, they start panicking, they're sweating, and then okay, some of them have a stage fright. Okay, but the thing is, if you want to survive in this world, you have to put yourself out there. You have to stand out among the others, because being afraid is actually the thing that is limiting you. Previously I was extremely afraid of everything actually. I took it as, when I'm afraid, I'm in my comfort zone. And that means I should not leave. I'm pushing the borders at that time. Until I actually had a depression phase when I was in my first year of degree. It was a really tough moment for me. It was very hard because of social related things. And at one point I got so sick of myself that I was looking in the mirror and I was like, why are you crying? At that point I had like so much hate for myself, because I kept trying to stay in my safe circle, my safe zone, that I neglect the fact that I am supposed to grow more than that. the safe zone is actually the thing that is limiting me from growing, from being somebody. So back then, every time there was a presentation or anything, I would just back up away. I would not volunteer myself for any positions and whatnot. I would always be afraid to, speak up. But thankfully, because of what happened back then, it's because of it's a special someone. I wouldn't mention that person's name, but because of that person, I'm actually thankful for that person for hurting me in a sense to make me realize that I'm supposed to I'm supposed to be more than this. I shouldn't be weeping all the time. I should stop crying. I should actually take action. So I grew out of it. And over the years, over the next few years of my degree life, of course there were issues, a lot of issues, and life gets tougher the stronger you are because, there's always room for improvements. And I'm thankful that right now I'm a completely different person than who I am years ago. Whew, it's very deep. Okay. Because okay, yeah. I'm not proud of myself yet. I'm not there yet. I believe that I still have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of ways to go before I can finally say that I've done enough and I can forgive myself for being that weak when I was back then. And I would say the most important part of this, what the learning takeaway you can take from this is that you shouldn't validate your emotions too much. I know nowadays people say that you should validate your emotions. Everything you feel is understandable and whatnot. But then to be honest, back then I did tell myself the same thing, and I was stuck in that whole understanding that I was doing right. I was just, how do I say this? I was just stuck in the understanding that I'm going through life great because I'm stuck in that. I'm in my safe zone, so this is the best thing that can happen to me. But it turns out that was the worst thing that could ever happen that's the worst thing I could have ever done to myself. Yeah, I mean, that happened a lot during lockdown, as what Danish mentioned here. Lockdown took away a lot of our happiness, took away a lot of our lives. I missed out the first 2 years of my degree, of uni life actually, because I was stuck at home in MCO, and I was depressed about it. I was mad. I was unstable at that time. But thankfully, just like everyone else here who is probably in this live stream and also outside, you guys, we all made it out together, right? You see, we went through the toughest part of our lives. We made it out together. So that was the toughest moment of our life. So what else is there to be afraid of, you see? Really, there's really nothing. You took the hardest hit. The other hits are gonna go through like butter and right now because, it's just experience. It toughens you up over time. That it makes you immune to pain. But yeah, now the time is actually 6:31, so that means it's a cue for a break. Now, okay, so I just want to apologize for yapping for so much. Yeah, I just want to apologize for yapping too much. But again, this is just a test, and I'll see you after the break. This is Radio MMU, your ultimate multimedia tunes. We'll be back after the break. Enjoy this Christmas NCS. Okay. Loading. Jump. Okay, there we go. Okay, see you after the break, guys. Okay. First thing. Okay. 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 So this is round two of yapping. I'm just kidding now. Um. Okay. So. Okay. I've actually forgot to wish you guys Merry Christmas, everyone who's celebrating, and for those who are not celebrating, Happy Holidays. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your night. But we'll be continuing on with honestly, if I want to talk about more, how do I say this? More issues about kids nowadays. It's senseless yapping. But if okay, see, I didn't exactly have a entire show plan right now because this was sort of a last minute thing where I just discovered today. Because I forgot today was Thursday. I had a plan that I wanted to do a solo session on a Thursday, this Thursday, and I lost track because of Christmas and whatnot. I was celebrating with my friends, and I think some of you are watching. So thank you for coming by. Yeah, it was a great party. Yeah, I've been having fun for the past 4 days. But yeah, and I'm going to my friend's house tonight. um. So I did not come into this live stream with an entire idea and to know what to say and what not. I did not have a show plan. I did not prepare anything. So everything I'm saying right now is just coming off the, just coming out of my brain right now. But yeah, I mean, you guys can just throw in your comments in there. And Danesh said, thanks Simon for the ego stroking. He also said, damn bro, I think we can all relate to the I actually said all this. Yeah, I'm forgetting, my goodness. Okay. We are in our David Goggins era for real. FR for real. FR is for real, right? Wait FR. Someone tell me what FR it means in the chat. Yeah. Okay. I assume it's for real. I think I heard this somewhere. But we're in our David Goggins. Of course, there are a lot of influential people out there. Let's say, for example, David Goggins. And, okay, there's one controversial one. I'm actually kind of afraid to say his name, but okay, but never mind, I'll just say it. They are the Tate brothers. The Tate brothers, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, where, okay, I won't take sides here. Me personally, I have my own understanding of them. But you see, people think that the Tate brothers are very controversial. They don't make sense and all that because they are disapproving and sort of insulting in the sort of way that um it basically invalidates whatever people have been thinking so far, because what they've been doing is that they are trying to, from some people's point of view, is that they are trying to how do I say, fix society. But you all have our own personal views. But of course, I'm not talking about the Tate brothers today. um but yeah, because talking about them will be such a controversial thing. It's gonna bring up a lot of backlash. It's too much risk for me to put them on for this stream. But yeah, actually, speaking of that, I actually had plans on inviting special guests like artists, influencers, actors, and all that. But it'll be quite a challenge because they're very busy. So I actually thought about inviting what was that person's name? There's a one actor, I forgot his name. He's a Malay guy. Sorry, not actor, sorry, it's a politician. Syed Saddiq, yes, Syed Saddiq. He I actually thought about inviting Syed Saddiq because considering how he's very he has that he's very inclined towards the young people nowadays. But unfortunately, with recent news about him going to jail and being charged and whatnot, And of course, there's the issue of, you know, politicians being in here. There's the issue of politicians being in here. You know, people have different political stands. So it's best for me to not put that in. But don't worry, don't worry. This was before. This was like 1 year ago, like a year ago, you know, just a long time ago. So I never actually put this plan into fruition, you see. And yeah. Well, I just thought about something about kids nowadays. Okay, actually, there's one thing about I noticed that is actually quite good about kids nowadays is that they're very tech savvy, which means in terms of anything related to, let's say, for example, graphic design, filming, video editing, photography, you guys are very talented in that because, okay, maybe we can contribute it to the fact that you guys were given those technologies since you were younger, so you are exposed even earlier than what people my age were exposed to. So you guys actually have that talent to, you know, do these things. Cause I've seen my graphic designers edits. I've seen my social media managers edits as well. How she's handling everything. You know, the posters and also to the Mandarin Slot manager who has that special podcast with my social media manager and the posters that they make. To be honest, when I first saw that poster, I was just thinking like, how do you even make this sort of thing? Because if it was me, I wouldn't know how. It was just only like last week that I figured out how to make one poster, and even that was such a basic thing. But you know, there's pros and cons to these young people nowadays, and of course, we want to focus on the cons because we want to improve them, and of course, as how basic understanding works is that if you can bring a horse to a river, but you cannot make the horse drink the water from the river. What's important is that everyone must have that mindset that I need to improve myself. I need to improve myself so that I can, you know, I can succeed. I can bring myself further. Because you know, people are nowadays they're just sticking to whatever they are fine with. You know, everything that's considered normal. Which to me is an actual issue, considering how a lot of people feel like I should be like everyone else. If I'm not, then I'm weird. That is such a wrong mindset that you can ever have. But oh god, it's 8:43. Okay, that's very fast. Never mind. I thought about saying something just now, but I forgot. Okay, overall, this entire solo plan, the solo session is actually very good. I really encourage you members to try out the solo session. Because if you think about it, one, we can spread out the um the sessions out so that we can have a longer on air time, and also two, actually there's also a bad part because like I would say you just prepare ahead so your mind doesn't go blank like how I'm going right now. So I'm just talking about these solo sessions, but don't worry, something will come along in my brain. But yeah. Oh yeah, I think I noticed something. Something recently happened. I just want to talk about the entire road situation in Cyberjaya. I might be treading on thin ice right now. I'm going to deep waters right now, but I'm not gonna lie. The entire road system and also the entire, yeah, you know, the highways, the roads, the drivers in Cyberjaya are not exactly the best. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, people say that. Okay, I shouldn't say that. No, actually, I cannot say that. Okay, it's a stereotype which we do not believe in. But you know, some people say that Penang drivers are very bad. But I've never been to Penang, so I wouldn't know. But because I stay in cyber, I study in cyber, so I observe how people drive in cyber, and to be honest, they're not the best. Because if you notice one thing, if you notice along the LDP highway coming into cyber, first of all, the roads are they're not smooth. You see, it's like there's some parts of the road you can jump down and suddenly you go back up. And the worst part of that is that there is no they don't turn on the highway lights. I don't know why. All right, it's very dark. Sometimes people, like motorcyclists, and they get into accidents, the light might accidentally turn off, and we don't see them on the road. You see, until that like really close, and you don't have time to brake, and you might cause a death on the highway. So I think this is an extremely concerning matter. And also, in that same highway, I've tried to drive in the rain through this same highway, and I'm telling you, this highway is like a hurricane, man. With the rain, I couldn't see nothing in front of me. Every car in front of me had to turn on the what do you call the double blinker? The warning sign, is it? Or I don't know what do you call that. That triangle. I forgot what you call that. The triangle red button in your car, in the middle of your car. We had to turn that on so that we can see how far everyone is in front, because I almost crashed into another guy because he did not turn that on, and I was like, whoa, it's like this is dangerous as hell. And not to mention also the drivers here are very bad, because one, y'all suka tukar lane without signal. That's one. Two, y'all drive very slow on the right lane. Like, okay, I get it, there's a speed limit we have to follow, but if the speed limit is, say for example, 50. Okay, say for example, speed limit is 80, right? Don't drive 50 on the right side. Drive in the middle or on the left. The right side is for, okay, we understand it as the fast lane, but it's actually for overtaking only. Yeah. But don't block other people. On the left there got lorry, middle there got like a slow car, and you're up to speed with the guy in the middle lane. Don't be on the same speed and be on the different lane. Why don't you just go behind them, and so that other people can go past, because you're driving so slow, you're causing another jam. You see, we already have traffic issues in Cyberjaya, and you are adding more to the problem. That's not fair, brother man. Okay. Other than that, okay. This is just highways in Malaysia in general. It's just that I noticed, right? A lot of motorcyclists. I'm not taking sides on this whole motorcyclists versus car drivers side, but a lot of motorcyclists, right? They assume that we have to give them the way. I mean, yes, we have to give them the way because they're very small and whatnot, and they're very dangerous. But sometimes, right? Sometimes some motorcycle drivers, right? Motorcyclists, they take it as they're the king of the road. There's at one point There's at one point when I was driving, right, and this Food Panda driver, he just cuts me off in front. I turned the horn on him, right, because he was doing it like MotoGP, bending his whole body sideways when it's just a straight line. I pressed the horn on him. He turned around and then he just flipped me off. I was like, what the hell, man? It's like it's annoying actually. And also at one point, like you're trying to change lanes, but he's staying there in your blind spot. He sees your signal, but he's just staying there. And it's kind of annoying because there's one time where I missed my exit to Cyberjaya because I was going for class. I missed my exit and I ended up going to Cheras instead of Cyberjaya. So I was late for like 1.5 hours because of the traffic there in the morning. But yeah, this was just one of the few annoying things. It's just a whole traffic renting sessions. Apa ni? Do you think they'll be an advantage? I had a wrong move, pal. They are. I can vouch personally. Okay. I agree that it's so infuriating. People really don't care about the actual way we're supposed to navigate the highway. I mean, we get it that some of you don't know how to drive. Some of you are not as skilled. But if your P license is off, like your P sticker is off your car, you've had 2 years of learning to do. And okay, I'm not judging. Some people take a longer time to get used to the highway and whatnot. But the P sticker is already off. You should be able to know how a highway works, how does a street work, and whatnot. So I don't see how it's a justification to not know how to drive. yes, you might be scared because it's your first time driving and whatnot. But then don't stick on the right lane, and two, don't cause troubles to other people. You can take your time driving and whatnot. Just don't do it in a way that is a nuisance to other people, and it causes a traffic jam. Another thing I want to talk about, right? About Malaysians, I tell you, ooh, every time there's an accident, right? You all have the tendency to slow down your car, take out your phone and start snapping pictures or take video or anything, cause you guys want to post it on social media. So as per se, you want your video to be viral as per se. It's annoying. One, two, you're causing troubles for the people at the back. Okay, and you slow down. You want to see, oh my god, something happened. Oh my god, his engine went out. Oh my god, tire tercabut. I mean, okay, great, but I'm pretty sure this is not the first time you've seen an accident, right? Like, okay, kereta terbalik. Wow, so cool. No, not cool lah. I mean, hopefully everyone's okay, but it's not your first time seeing an accident. Why do you feel the need to take a photo and then post it on social media? Because you are causing more troubles, and sometimes because of that, people at the back, ambulances, those emergency services, police, fire trucks, ambulances, they are being slowed down because you just wanted to get 30 seconds of fame on TikTok. It doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up. You even you say if it gets viral, it gets selected by social medias, the news. At the end of the day, you're just gonna lose that, and they're gonna move on with your life, and they're not gonna remember that you were that guy who who posted this accident on social media. To me, to be honest, there are times where I am late, and then because you guys are busy taking photos and whatnot, I have to wait for your photo, because everyone has that mindset, like, oh, it's just only me. I'm the only one that's gonna be taking the photo and video, but little do they know that 100 other people behind them are also saying the same thing. But yeah, that's just enough about about the traffic and situation in Malaysia. Back to the cyber one. I just want to say, whoever is, I hope the respective authorities actually do something about the road situations that we have here in Cyberjaya. It doesn't matter whether it's a wrongful parking, or it's the traffic light not working, or it's the highway lights not working. Just change the light bulb. Just do something before something bad happens, Because at the end of the day, you are supposed to be doing the jobs that you're supposed to do. If you don't do that, and then, it's actually gonna come biting back to you because you did not pass on the highway lights. That's why it's very important. Okay? But, another session of yapping, and it's 8:54. I actually forgot what time I started. Okay, I think I started around 8:10, I think. Or 8:05 lah, around there. Which means I have another 10 minutes of yapping. But yeah, the takeaway of this is that, again, what I'm saying today is just in hopes that people actually do want to improve themselves, and also in hopes that we improve the quality of life here in Malaysia, especially in terms of child upbringing, their mindset, and their corporate behavior. Because there's a reason why. It's because of these issues that we have. It's also the same reason why we have to learn, like what we have in MMU now is leadership and integrity and leadership, character building, character development. We have to have this sort of thing so that you guys actually get out of your rooms and whatnot. To be fair, in my opinion, it's still a bad. Okay, I shouldn't talk about that because we're gonna get banned. But there are reasons why these things are happening, so you guys need to figure out what's wrong with your own self, and then try to improve based on that. But yeah. Oh yeah. Another thing is that a lot of people nowadays, they spend too much time on video games. It okay, I'm not saying that video games are bad. You know, you want to let loose. You want to de-stress. You want to get your mind off some things, so you play games. But please make sure that it does not affect other people, in the sense that it does not affect, say for example, your assignment group mates. Please make sure you finish your assignments first, and then only then you can play your video games, or just finish your finals, everything. Because some people, right, they have that mentality that, oh, I'm already good enough, so I can go play games when my finals is tomorrow. That I mean, based on what every school teaches you, what you learn in primary school, what you learn in high school, that's such a bad way of doing your exam, unless you're like a prodigy in studying. Say for example, I had this classmate in high school. He always skipped every class. He was never in class, and we thought he was gonna fail. But it turns out during SPM, he got straight A's. He got into matriculation. This is for a non-boomy, by the way. For a non-boomy to enter matriculation, that means you're smart as hell. So he got into matriculation. He got a 4 flat, and then now he's studying mechanical engineering in UM. And me, I stayed in class, studied my ass off, and I did not get UM. I did not get a 4 flat. I got like a 3.6, I think. I was very far off. It's very hard to enter UM because of that. But yeah, I agree on that one. I was part of those subjects. A real waste of time, I'll tell you. Which one are you talking about? And also, I realized, yeah, I mentioned pint just now. Sorry, it's a, it's a habit. Sorry, not a habit. It's a craving. I mean, habit. Yeah. But nevertheless, the time now is 8:57. So I think I'll end the stream early here, because usually those streams are usually 1 hour, and then we want to see how well we did it this time. So of course we'll do analytics of it. But again, I would like to encourage our members, try to do a solo stream, especially Poopy Melvin. You wanted to do it, so let's make it happen, man. I'll definitely encourage you. But of course, I just want you guys to just prepare, so that you don't have like a blank mind. And of course, because we want you guys to succeed, not as a radio DJ. Maybe you guys might even have an opportunity to be an actual radio DJ, maybe in Hits FM, and you can use RadioMMU as your portfolio. You never know. So that's why I would like to encourage you guys to try for success in as being a DJ, because we are providing you the platform, and it's up to you on how you want to use it to your advantage. Yeah. So like I said, I feel like this solo stream is actually quite interesting. I'm not sure how interesting it will be when there are other people sitting around in front of me. Maybe I might get even more nervous. I mean, not nervous, or maybe I'll just stutter, or I might control my words even more. But never mind that. But yeah, once again, I would just like to wish everyone Merry Christmas and New Year's coming. Let's all have a new. Let's all actually hold on to that phrase, New Year, New Me. Like actually work on it to have a new me, a better me. Instead of just saying it, posting on Instagram and whatnot. But yeah, New Year is coming. I'm gonna wish you guys New Year next week. The next on air session, which is next week, because this is the final on air for this week, unless there's another session tomorrow, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But nevertheless, Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy your holiday. I mean, now we're not on holiday, we're on online teaching and learning week. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your parties. Enjoy your social sessions. And also, I just would like to remind that since we're on the topic of highways just now in traffic, please do not drink and drive. Please drink responsibly, and put that car key away. Give it to your friend or anything. Just don't drive. Sleep over somewhere. I don't know. Just be safe, alright? Because people enjoy themselves, so we let loose. But yeah, once again, Merry Christmas. This is Radio MMU, your ultimate multimedia tunes, and I'm DJ XiaoJun. I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much. Okay.